But let's go ahead and there's another team that's right there with them with the same record, but they were also once undefeated. And they got shot down by some fighter jets. The J.E.T.S. Yes, Jets, Jets, Jets. Yes, sir. They got it done. And it's about time. It's time to put some respect on Wilson. It's time to put some respect on the team. Man, they did this without Sauce Gardner too. This is excellent work, man. I love to see it. I'm happy to see it. And you know what? It's about time somebody shoot those Eagles down because I was tired of hearing about them. How y'all feel about that though?
Like I said, it was one of those weeks for upsets. A lot of underdogs were winning. I won't put a lot of that on Zach. I'll put a lot of it on defense for sure. They held their own,
Exactly.
keeping them under 20 points, I think it was, too, as well. So
14.
yeah, you know what I mean? So that was a very dominating, stifling defensive stand that they had all game overall. Um, it's gonna be tough because the Eagles have been trending down with their offense for the last, I'll say, 2 or 3 games. Haven't been scoring too much points. Been looking kind of stagnant on offense and kind of confused with their plan. So going into this game against Miami, that'll be kind of interesting, seeing how they switch it up. But um, good job by the Jets defense, hold it down. Just another one of those weeks. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what the Jets are able to do on defense. They don't really give a lot of points up in the second half. I think there was a report that the Cowboys were the only, not to make this about the Cowboys, but the Cowboys scored the most points against the Jets in the second half, and it's only 12 points. So that says something about guys like Quinnen Williams who got an interception, C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams who recovered a fumble. It's difficult to beat a team when you throw 3 interceptions, you fumble the ball, and the Eagles lost Lane Johnson, which is arguably the best lineman outside of Jason Kelsey, who, for what it's worth, is the core for this Eagles offense. You got guys like Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, who we the big names, the Devontae Smiths, but they're also missing Quez Watkins, and they alleviated that by signing Julio Jones this week, which is obviously going to make a difference. Whether Julio Jones is old or not, he's still Julio Jones, Hall of Fame receiver. He can take the top off of defenses at any given moment. So that's going to open up a lot for this Eagles offense. And I think that's what the Eagles offense was missing, because the Eagles offense was clicking last year. I'm not going to say they don't click when they need to click, but the Eagles offense is obviously missing something, even with DeAndre Swift being one of the top running backs this season right now. Um, it was a defensive matchup, and it just so happened that the Jets were able to force Jalen Hurts into bad situations. Again, turning the ball over 3 times. That's very uncharacteristic for Jalen Hurts. His earlier seasons, he turned the ball over a fair amount of times, whether it's fumbling or not. But he tends to get out of situations with his legs, and he throws the ball away, or he puts the ball where only his receiver can get the ball. The Jets just happen to have his number, and it was bound to happen for Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia does recover. Nick Sirianni and them. What I mean, as a Cowboys fan, it's difficult to say this is what it is, but being objective, Nick Sirianni and this Philadelphia team, they tend to bounce back from losses like that. I mean, they bounced back from the Washington loss last year, ended up going to the Super Bowl. So, I think this is one of those eye openers. And it happens that it happened early in the season, and they recognize that the offensive line needs some adjustments. They need Jalen Hurts to get the ball to where it needs to be gotten to. A couple non-pass interference calls or whatever. It is what it is, especially in the last drive. You could argue that Devontae Smith was pass interfered with, but you know, I think it's going to be a humbling situation for Philly, and I think they'll bounce back. But I don't know how they'll deal with Miami. Miami's definitely the fastest offense in the NFL, and Bradbury and what's his name,
Slay.
Darius Slay, going to have their hands full, because you know the Tyreek Hill and Eric Waddle, they get it done. And as far as Jalen Hurts and them, they're going to have to figure something out, because the Jets were without Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed, which is their top safety. So they're going to have to figure something out on offense. But the Miami defense is obviously not as intense as the Jets defense. So shout out to my guy, Quinnen Williams. Bless you. Thank you. He blessed himself on draft day. So that's my guy.
Imagine.
Hey, but shout out to Miami though. Miami's still without Jalen Ramsey on their defensive side. So when he gets back and he's healthy, their defense will, they'll take a boost on that side most likely. We'll see what happens though. I don't know.
Tell me.
I'm sorry.
Makes sense.
So you tell me.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if Jalen's still got it.
I'm
But
sure it's a little saucy. It's still a little saucy out there.